Listener-supported service of Arizona Western College since 1970. Thank you for listening. What's Up Yuma is next. It's 10 o'clock.
Exactly how does Border Radio bring you some of the most incredible music on the planet? Listener support. Donations from people who care. Your support is an investment in the powerful idea that handcrafted songs from yesterday and today should be accessible, relevant, and always playing for everyone. Visit borderradioaz.org to support the music, and thanks.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are joined by UFC Hall of Famer, the youngest to win the tough competition right here. It's Kelvin Gastelum.
Holy smokes.
Yes, he's in the building. It's a fight promotion that he's a part of. They're going to have a fight this weekend.
And he's bringing his own cameraman.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Paparazzi.
So you're going to want to stay with us and listen to the homegrown UFC Hall of Famer. So stay with us to listen to What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming also right now online through the KAWC YouTube and Border Radio Facebook pages. And send us an email to whatsupyumaradio@kawc.org.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. YumaElectricServiceLLC.com.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
All right, What's Up Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of the What's Up Yuma radio show. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, as promised, because I like to keep my promises.
Okay,
right?
Good.
That's good. That's a good thing
I'm
for a
learning
host,
that
right?
about you, yes. Oh, hey, sorry. It's Johnny's birthday.
Oh, yeah. It is my birthday today, too.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. But enough about me. Today, we have in the building UFC Hall of Famer and Yuma homegrown talent, Kelvin Gastelum. Thank you so much for being with us, Kelvin.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Thanks for the invitation, and glad to be home.
Yeah, good to have you here. You're home because you do have an event this weekend. You're not going to be fighting at it, so you get to relax and enjoy it. We'll talk a little bit about that event here a little bit later, but you're here for that because you own part of the fight promotion. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, this weekend we got a first of its kind event going on in Yuma. You know, this is the first time a sanctioned sporting event is coming to Yuma, and you know, this is pretty important stuff, pretty big stuff for our city of Yuma.
So, and then that's exactly what the show's all about, to highlight the good stuff happening here in Yuma, and that's a big thing because, like you mentioned before, we've had fights here, but they've never been sanctioned. So there is a difference with a sanctioned and non-sanctioned fight. Now it's taken to the next level, so it's going to be pretty cool to witness that. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about your journey. You were born, I believe, San Jose, right? California, yeah. But you came to Yuma and you wrestled out of Cibola. What was it like in those early days at Cibola?
Oh man, it was great. I mean, I had a great childhood, you know. Like a lot of us, we come from very, very humble beginnings, but you know, we had everything we needed growing up, you know. Never went without food, thanks to my mom.
Yeah. Shout out to your mom. I love your mom. She's great.
My mom, yeah. She's a single mom, raised two children by herself, worked 2-3 jobs at a time. So like she you know, a lot of people see me and they say like how cool it is to be a fighter, but like the toughest person that I know is like my mom.
Oh, that's where you get some of that toughness from your mom,
say that
right?
About me.
Because like you said, single mom, she had to fight for her kids and fight to be able to provide. Yeah. And so then you got some of that natural toughness from her.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, she showed me what the work ethic is all about and how to just overcome in life. You know?
How does she feel about you fighting?
She probably hates it, you know.
We gotta have her on. I want to be like, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, she probably hates it if you'd ask her, yeah, you know. But she's a strong, like I said, she's a strong woman, And anytime she can make it to a fight, I mean, she's there, right there, front and center.
Awesome.
So back when you were at Cibola, did you have aspirations for this? Was this a dream? Was this something that you wanted to do? Like, and how was that wrestling career early on? So if you could tackle both of those for me.
Yeah, back to Cibola. We had a great wrestling program out at Cibola. Once upon a time, we were ranked in the top 3 schools in the state.
Wow,
That's awesome.
And Cibola's won a couple championships, individual championships. Many state champions come from Cibola, and we just had a really, really good coach in Pepe Moreno.
That's a name that Chance had mentioned.
He talked about him.
Chance mentioned when we had Chance on. So a great coach. So you're there, you're on the mat. It's Cibola wrestling. Did you know that one day you were going to make that leap into the cage, or did that come later?
Never did I know in a million years that I'd be getting myself into.
Exactly.
But
Because that's wrestling's different than getting punched in the
is.
face.
Oh, 100%.
They actually don't want you to hit each other in wrestling.
Oh, 100%. I just remember my first MMA class. They get a guy on top of me. They tell me to keep him down. And okay, time starts. He postures up and just throws the biggest haymaker he could.
Oh my gosh.
And that was the first time I ever been hit.
Wow.
You're like, what?
And I guess I fell in love with it.
You got hit. Like, I could do this. This is
Wait, I want to hit him back.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. You do want to hit back, so it gives you that little bit of a rush, and they're like, okay, I'm going to come back better. I'm coming for you, buddy. And so that's a little bit how it took place. So that MMA class, what time was that, like, in your career? Was that at Cibola still, or a little bit after?
I was wrestling at Cibola. I was probably like a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
And so one of the assistant wrestling coaches at the time, his name is Joe Gustina. He was an assistant wrestling coach at Cibola. He was fighting. And he's like, hey, why don't you come by and do a jiu-jitsu class? And I was like, what the hell is jiu-jitsu? He's like, yeah, like UFC, MMA. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'll go check it out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It was
Wasn't
that.
even on the radar for you. You're like,
No,
what?
not at all. I was like 15, 16 years old. And so I went and checked that out. Like I said, I got the biggest haymaker for the first time ever in my life, and fell in love with it.
Okay.
So, but like you said, you fell in love with it. So the journey from that, so you were doing wrestling and taking some MMA classes as well at the same time.
Yeah, so that's when I started training MMA, did some jiu-jitsu, started boxing, kickboxing, started doing jiu-jitsu, and then I would wrestle whenever wrestling season was on. That's what I wrestled pretty much all year round, but whenever I could, I'd take some MMA classes. When I wasn't busy out there just competing in wrestling, I would do MMA.
When you first started your MMA classes, like, what did you find the most challenging? What was hard for you? Or were you just like naturally awesome at it? Which one?
I'd say it was just everything was so fun for me, and I guess it kind of did come natural.
Okay.
So
that's
you're
awesome.
a natural talent from because wrestling. Chance Farrar lets us know, who I like to call the godfather of MMA here in Yuma. He lets us know wrestling is the best foundation you should have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He always says wrestling, that's what you got to learn first, and then you can grow, go to jiu-jitsu, go to kickboxing, learn these other techniques. But wrestling is that foundation, and you're proof that works, right?
That's where
There's
you
the
started.
foundation. That's where where
right.
you started. And
Well,
then,
just if you're a wrestler, you're able to dictate where the fight goes, right? Whether if you want to keep it standing, then you can defend takedowns well and keep the fight standing. But if you want to take it to the ground, then you have the power to do so. So it's a really good base to start with, for sure, in MMA.
So then you're taking the classes. Then how does the chance to become one of the members of the Tough House, how does that take place? And explain to people real quick, what's the Tough House, the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah.
Because it's a reality TV show, right? And you got to
Tough.
try out for a show.
Yep.
So how did that come about?
Yeah, Tough is an acronym for the Ultimate Fighter, and where it's basically a reality show where guys compete and they eliminate each other and fight against each other in a house until one is left. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of the 17th season and win the whole thing.
Yeah, and you were the youngest to ever win, right? And
To this
Oh,
day,
that's awesome.
to this day, I'm still the
Congrats.
youngest.
Yeah, and then I've heard that like one of the reasons you got on was because your birthday was right about that time. So like you
Right.
had to be a certain age to get on. And
Right. No. Well, I remember emailing Joe Silva, the matchmaker at the time, and I was so excited. I was all nervous writing that email. And then I get back. I get the response back like, "Hey, the tryouts are on that date on your birthday, so
Oh, wow.
you're good to go." So it's like
It's meant to be.
it was like meant to be. Yeah.
How many fights happen off camera? Like, you guys can't all get along.
Did-
in
oh,
this
did you guys
reality
get along
show
at the show?
house.
Or, like, what
There's
was that
got to be
like?
so much that happens that we don't see.
Yeah. I mean, you guys only see 5% of what really goes
Exactly.
on. Yeah. So much happens off camera that they don't show. But you know what? For that season, everybody, that was a special season. I'm not saying it just because I was on it. I've watched almost every season since the very first one, and that was just a really good season because of the fights and the characters in there. But everybody was pretty good, pretty mature.
You guys got along?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, no, not
Some,
got
like,
along,
some
but
stuff. Yeah.
no, there was no brawls. You know,
Okay.
if that's what you
nothing wild, nothing too crazy.
Like,
nothing
hey,
crazy.
you didn't clean up your dishes.
Yeah, or just like he's rubbing me the wrong way,
Yeah.
but like there's no brawls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so
wrong.
I remember.
Not in our season.
Okay.
There has been.
Okay.
There's been
Other ones.
I would imagine.
I remember when that was happening. I was doing something at the Pint House at the time. We would go there and watch every episode, and we do some cool stuff. I got to give away some
Tuesdays, Tough Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tough Tuesdays. I got to give away some gloves signed by you, and I remember knowing that you won, right? Because it was filmed in advance. And
Right.
I remember knowing I have to keep that a secret until
Yeah,
this
yeah.
happens. Yeah, and
okay.
it was a whole thing. And but Yuma was there. We're glued to the TVs watching this. Like that, you were making Yuma proud at the time. And what was that like? Was it hard to keep it a secret yourself?
No, I'm pretty good about keeping secrets.
Okay.
You wanna bury a dead body? You call me. You call me. So I'm good at keeping
I'll help you.
secrets.
I'll help you. Yeah, I'm sure you had to sign some paperwork too. You can't talk about
That
it.
too.
Well, yeah,
That's always
yeah,
the
they
legal
don't want the
action.
lawyers
Always
out
Oh,
there.
keeps me quiet too.
Also, the $1 million NDA that I signed. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so you're fighting your way through this tough competition.
Yeah.
What was that like in the house though? Like, did you were just driven? Did they expect you to go as far as you went in the house?
No.
Did they? Were you like this guy's going to be of course
No.
it's Kelvin? No. So tell us about that.
No, I was actually picked last on my team. And then I just remember, like in the show, they flip a coin over who controls picks to pick fighters or to match up fighters. And the other team had they were able to make the matchup one of their best fighters against the last pick, the youngest guy.
Oh, okay. So you went against the best.
A strategic
for them.
move.
What they thought
It was
was
their strategic move.
Exactly,
You know,
but they
got
underestimated you.
the biggest dude they could find with the most experience and really, really good on paper against the youngest guy, smallest guy in the
Yeah.
house, because everybody's like 6'3", 6'2".
So were you the smallest in the house?
I was definitely
Okay.
the smallest in the house.
So what happened? You
in
obviously won.
age and in
Yeah.
stature.
Oh, okay.
And so they try and pick the biggest guy against the last pick, smallest dude in the house, so they can
Yeah.
continue to move on in the
Yeah.
tournament. And I happen to
He did his
You're
thing.
like, I won. Like,
flip the script on them a little
really
bit.
won
Like,
the
and
whole
the rest
thing.
is history, bro.
And flip the script on them a little bit and start, beat him. Then just continued on and made it all the way to the finale. And
Okay.
went up against my buddy Uriah Hall, who I just mentioned has the same birthday you do.
Yeah, that was pretty
Oh,
cool.
happy birthday, Uriah.
Yeah, if you're watching Uriah Hall, hopefully, maybe you'll watch this.
He's like,
later.
I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
But mentioning him, I remember watching that night you going against Uriah Hall,
So
who
we
was
fought, yeah.
who was taller than you as well, bigger, and
Everybody.
and I'm like, oh my goodness, Kelvin is in for one. You know? I really thought that. Like, I don't know,
you were
right?
scared for
yeah, I
him.
was
I'm sure
scared
a lot
for
of
him.
people thought that,
I'm-
yeah.
I'm just like, look at this guy, Kelvin. What she said, you're the shortest one in stature, the youngest, and you're going against this big dude. But you pulled it off. What was
Yeah.
that like?
And then Uriah,
That's okay.
Uriah was out there like putting people in ambulances
Wow.
and hospitals. And I remember being in Brazil and they mentioned Uriah, and they called him Ambulance Man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Homem ambulancia. Yeah, something like that. And I was like, why do you guys call him that? Because he sent everybody to the ambulance.
Oh, wow. So that's what he's known for. So and then you're fighting because the winner of the house, they get to fight live on UFC, and it's a big deal. And you're in the cage with them. And did you just have that confidence? I'm going to win. Like Eye of the Tiger.
I mean, obviously you get your nerves and you're scared as hell. I mean, there's no fight that I go in there thinking, I'm not nervous, because every fight you're nervous. But you go in there confident. There's a difference between being nervous and crap in the bed, or or being nervous and having
But
the courage.
excited.
Yeah, excited.
Like excited to see what's going to happen.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So we talked a little bit about the beginning stages, where you started from, the tough competition. You made your way into the UFC, now a UFC Hall of Famer, which is a huge deal. And we're going to talk more about that and his competition, the YFL 6 that's coming up, and the meet and greet. A lot's happening this weekend because Kelvin paved a way for a lot of fighters here. So we'll be back after a short break right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. Specializing in residential and commercial wiring, services also include EV charging unit installs and solar-ready service panel upgrades. Information and consultation appointments at yumaelectricservicellc.com.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan. Join us on Wood Songs this week as we celebrate the music of the front porch. This week, bluegrass and psycho roots band from Wyoming. Yes, I said psycho roots. The Kitchen Dwellers, and from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Tenny Rain, plus an amazing Wood Songs kid. All of this and more on this week's broadcast of the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
Where else on the radio would you hear the set that just played? For the most part, the music you hear on Border Radio is pretty hard to find on commercial radio stations. You'll hear this music only on a public radio station like Border Radio, where you, our listener, truly appreciates it and owns it. Visit borderradioaz.org to donate today.
Good morning. This is Cecilia Holland-Braithwaite from the KEWC Newsroom. We're expecting a sunny day in Yuma with a high of 109 degrees. Light winds out of the south could gust up to 20 miles per hour before the day is done. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 78. The Trump administration's long-term plan for artificial intelligence could have far-reaching environmental impacts across the country, including in Arizona, where Meta is already building a massive data center in suburban Phoenix. More details at KAWC.org.
Blood services provider Vitalant is hosting blood drives at Yuma locations throughout the summer. Donations are critical to supporting the blood supply during long holiday weekends when fewer drives are held in the community. One blood donation could save up to 3 lives. Donations of all blood types, especially O, are needed. Appointments at donors.vitalant.org.
Are we back? Oh, there we are. Okay. What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter, and we are here with UFC Hall of Famer Kelvin Gastelum, homegrown right here from Yuma, Arizona. So it's a pleasure to have him on. And we talked a little bit about his beginning stages in how he entered into the UFC. What was it like once you're there? You beat Uriah Hall. Now you have a mission for gold, and you got to start picking off fighters. What was that like after that?
Yeah, you try and get the biggest, baddest challenge you can get, and started picking off the best fighters I can get. At the time, I was matched up against Rick Story, and Rick Story, at the time, had the only win against Johnny Hendricks when Johnny was running.
Yeah, when he was on top of the game.
Everybody. And so I got matched up with him right off the bat. Which doesn't really happen. It's a big step up. He was ranked number 15 in the world, and it's only
and you're brand new.
This is my second or third fight in the UFC, so
Wow.
It's a big step up in competition, and just started picking off contenders like that, one by one, all the way up until.
And is that what you wanted, to pick off contenders? You're like, I want to get there as quick as possible. I want to go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care about their record. Give it to me. I want to be ranked high.
Yeah, I had this crazy idea in my head where I wanted to beat John Jones's record.
Ah,
being
gotcha.
The youngest champion.
Yeah, and well, you did get the youngest and tough, so that's huge, man.
something.
Yeah, no, that's
So
great.
you won all these fights? Are you undefeated?
No,
Oh.
not anymore. I was undefeated up until I went up against Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley ended up beating me by split decision, and then he went on to fight for the title and won it.
Wow.
So one of the fights I remember is Bisping going up against that, because that was a huge name too, right? Going up against Bisping, you knocked him out. Any special stories about that fight?
Yeah, well, Bisping was coming off his loss with George St. Pierre. He had just lost the title, the world championship, and then he stepped up short notice to fight me a couple of weeks later. And unfortunately for him, I got him out in the first round, which is good. The UFC was really happy because at the time, like I said, we were in China, in Shanghai, super controlled and very communist country, and China does whatever they want when they want.
Was it scary to be in China under that?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
No, not at all. So what I'm saying is, they wanted to shut off the lights to the arena.
Why?
I don't know. They just said at this time the lights are shutting off.
Okay. So it was a good thing you ended the fight soon.
So it was a good thing.
Okay.
You were like, okay, I got this then.
Yeah, they're like, Kelvin, you better get it, because the lights are going out.
First
They're
round,
shutting off
dude.
the
Well,
electricity.
imagine-
You're like, that's a lot
Are
of
you gonna
pressure.
fight in the dark? Like that's what they wanted you to do?
I don't know.
Everyone
what the
break out your
plan was.
flashlights, like-
I don't know what the plan was, but I
You
they were
saved the day.
I kind of did.
Yeah, so you worked your way up. So Adesanya. So explain that one. What was it like to get that match with him and then go to war, absolute war? I've heard Joe Rogan, all these people talk about this is one of the greatest fights in UFC history. They praised that fight. What was that like, getting that chance and then going into the Octagon with him?
Yeah, that was a cool experience. I mean, I was just ready to fight, we were fighting for the title, but I was already fighting for the title. And I remember it was April, but in February of that year, I was supposed to fight for the title. And then fight day came, and like the champion at the time, Robert Whittaker, had to have emergency surgery.
I remember that, yeah.
So like it was crazy because then that championship fight had to get postponed, and so the champion was out. Then they made the interim championship with me and Adesanya, and so I was just like eager to just.
You were just wanting to get back into the cage.
Exactly.
You just wanted to get in there.
It had been like my longest layoff, and I was just like, I want to go in there and just fight, and that's exactly what I felt. That's exactly what I did.
Did that layoff, did it mess with you mentally? Did it get to you at all? Because I know part of fighting is psychological. So having to go against that. So was there any of that?
There was some adjusting to do.
Well, how long was this
From
layoff?
February to
How long did you take a break?
it was probably like over like almost about a year
Oh, that's a long time.
without
to not
fighting.
fight. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. So how did you prepare? Like he's saying, like how'd you get back into that mental state?
Yeah, well, because I don't know if you guys remember, I won the Ultimate Fighter, but then I coached. I was a coach as well.
Oh, like the next season?
Yeah, one of the seasons,
Okay.
season 28.
We were just saying you're not a coach.
Yeah. Well, they hired me to do it, so you got to pay me. No, I'm kidding. No, it was a cool opportunity to kind of get back, to the sport that's given me a lot. And I came through the Ultimate Fighter, so I definitely I went for it, and I coached against Rob Whittaker, the champion at the time. And so there was just all this time in between fights. And so I was just, by the time the fight came, I was just eager.
So that night of the fight, so you're in the cage. Did you know this was going to go down in history as a special fight? What was your mindset like?
Well, I knew it was going to be special because, it was a special night, and I was fighting for the title. And in my head, I'm like, I'm coming home with something, This fight's going to be special for sure. But I didn't think it was going to be special in that way. I definitely didn't think I was going to lose. I definitely didn't think it was going to be that that crazy of a war.
It was a really close fight, though, right? It was really close. I remember watching it. It was a really close fight, absolute war. And that is the fight that got you into the UFC Hall of Fame, correct?
Hey, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did that take place? When did the UFC Hall of Fame, and how did that feel?
That
to
just
be able to-
happened a couple months ago in Vegas, and in July or June. And I went out there and got my jacket, got my trophy, my Hall of Fame jacket.
Now you guys get a jacket like golf people do?
Like, she's thinking of Happy Gilmore and like
I just watched the second movie.
Yeah, everybody's
I just watched it.
everybody just watched it.
Hey, it actually wasn't bad, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was a
No,
good
it
movie.
wasn't.
It was a good-
I was like, okay, it could have been way worse.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was actually
exactly.
pretty funny.
I thought so too. It was
Okay,
cool.
so back to you. Like, enough happy.
So you get that jacket, but what was that like going up there and getting that honor and being recognized like that?
I still don't know how to put it in words, man. It still don't feel real. In my head, I'm like, this is stuff old. This stuff happens to old people.
Yeah.
You know?
And how old are you? You said you're 34?
I'm gonna be 34 in October. Yeah.
So yeah, not for old people. You like to do things young. Apparently, that's your MO.
I guess.
Do it while you're young. One of our camera guys over here. Shout out to John over here. He asked if you got recognized anymore since the fame escalate since you got this award.
No. I mean, it's the same as it was before. I get recognized pretty much anywhere I go these days. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my son too. Shout out to my son. Micah's over here. He asked, is he going to be coming in with bodyguards and stuff? And it's like, no, but
Paparazzi entourage.
Yeah, he did get paparazzi over here though. But so now you're here in Yuma because you do have an event coming up, YFL. Explain a little bit about what YFL is and why it's so important to the community here.
Yeah, the Yuma Fight League. We are having our 6th event this Saturday at the new Legacy building at the Yuma County Fairgrounds, and this is the first event of its kind. We're finally dealing with the Arizona Athletic Commission and getting these fights sanctioned, and we're trying to bring a very high quality show to Yuma, and also just trying to scout some talent. There's a lot of talent that comes out of Yuma. Everybody knows Cain Velasquez from Yuma, myself. There's a lot of other fighters from the region that have made it to the UFC. So there's a lot of talent in this area, and I think Yuma Fight League can bring them out.
So you're not fighting, but you're just helping put it on.
So I co-own the organization.
Okay.
And we've been operating for like 9-10 months now. And it's our 6th event, and this is going to be our biggest one yet. So we're hoping for a good turnout, and we're putting on a good show for everybody to enjoy. For the fighters, for the people attending. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening this weekend.
When's your next fight? Do you have one scheduled?
My next fight, probably not. I'm hoping in October.
Okay. Sweet.
So yeah, right now we're focused on the one that was coming up, YFL 6. You have a meet and greet as well, and you mentioned a lot of fighters have come out of Yuma as also in the area, Imperial Valley as well. It seems to be something about this desert heat that produces some really tough guys.
Some real angry people. We're really hot.
Yeah,
Sure, that's for damn sure.
Can you let us know who's going to be there tomorrow at the meet and greet?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we got a lot of UFC fighters and UFC veterans from Imperial Valley, El Centro, Mexicali, San Luis. They're all going to be there Friday, August 1st, doing a meet and greet. Let me see. We got Edgar Chaitis, we got Rafa Garcia, we got Jose Delgado, we got myself, Edgar Garcia. So all these people, they're all from, they've fought at the highest level. A lot of them are still active in the UFC. And so, it's going to be...
We have Jose on tomorrow, right? Yeah.
Jose is going to be there. So if you guys want to come out, hang out with some cool athletes, and take some pictures, meet and greet Friday, August 1st.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time. And it's at the new Legacy building, and I'm glad they finally got an air-conditioned building over there at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
So like the previous fights were in a
Well, no, they were at a different place, but I'm just saying, if people think of the fairgrounds, they don't think about air conditioning. They think about swamp coolers and stuff. but this air
Yeah.
conditioned brand new building is really
awesome.
nice. And
It's
so
an indoor building. Yeah. Get away from the heat.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
enjoy
for
some cool fights.
well, thank you so much for coming on, Kelvin. I really appreciate it. Thank you
Yay.
for your time. We'll see you over there at the meet and greet.
That's right.
Really, really appreciate it. And like you said, tomorrow we're going to have Jose Delgado, one of the gentlemen at the meet and greet. So What's Up Yuma is a production of KAWC Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez,
Yay.
Anthony Arnales, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reek.
And your son, he's here too.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Mike over here.
And you can find out more about KAWC at kawc.org, on Facebook at KAWC Radio, and on the app, the KAWC app. Stay tuned following our program for KOFA Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, like we said, one of the gentlemen that's going to be at the meet and greet, Jose Delgado, he's going to be here talking about his rise in the UFC.
Cool. And you can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio. And email us at whatsupyumaradio@kawc.org.
All right. Thank you again for coming
Thank
on,
you.
Kelvin. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys. See you.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow with Jose Delgado right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. YumaElectricServiceLLC.com.
A service of Arizona Western College for 50 years. This is 94.7 FM KOFA, borderradioaz.org on the KOFA app.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/studentnewsroom.